The Chronicles of Vladimir Tod by Heather Brewer. Genre: fantasy. Vladimir Tod, an innocent vampire boy, is the protagonist of this story, and is aided by his best friend Henry, a subordinate character, in the survival of 8th grade. Diablo is the president of the Stokerton Vampire Council and the antagonist of this story. Otis, Vlad's vampire uncle, is brought into the story as Vlad's substitute English teacher after he mysteriously goes missing. He serves as the protagonist and the antagonist due to a shocking plot twist. The story takes place in the small town of Bathory and in the downtown Stokerton Council building in the school year of 2007. It is in the third-person point of view. A vampire named Thomas Todd has fallen in love with a human named Melina and decides to run away from Alicia, the vampire woman. Melina was pregnant at the time and 9 months later gives birth to a healthy vampire baby of whom they named Vladimir. 8 years later, Melina and Thomas are killed by a house fire that only burns their room and mysteriously put itself out before Vlad returns home from school. No one knows what started the fire or who put it out, but Vlad suspects foul play. After this, the guardianship over Vlad is given to Melina's best friend and self-proclaimed sister, Nelly. The book starts out with Vlad's teacher running away through a wooded area away from someone or something that ultimately becomes his killer. He ends up getting caught and his pursuer questions him about Vlad's location. He refuses to answer and is killed. We later find out his pursuer was Diablo. We are then introduced to Vlad and Henry while on the way to an annual Halloween party. Vlad goes to school and is assigned a family tree project. This is when we learn about his history and what happened to his parents. Next we are introduced to Otis when he comes in to sub for Vlad's now dead English teacher. We learn that he has a liking for mythology. Next we follow Vlad to his favorite spot in Bathory. It's the belfry on top of the high school. The high school used to be a church and the door to the belfry was sealed off when it was turned into a high school. Vlad gets there by floating his way up to the window. This is also when we learn that Otis is helping Diablo locate Vlad, and Vlad suspects Otis to be the killer of his teacher and his parents. Later, Otis ends up at Vlad's house, joining Vlad and his Aunt Nellie for dinner. This is where Vlad finds out Otis is a vampire. A few weeks after the dinner, Otis reveals himself to Vlad as his uncle and that he has been trying to protect Vlad from Diablo this whole time. Nellie is also captured by Diablo. Vlad, Otis, and Henry drive to the Stokerton Council building to confront Diablo and save Nellie. Otis tricks Diablo and Vlad by pretending to cooperate with Diablo and killing Nellie, which in reality he releases her. After Vlad, Otis, Henry, and Nellie escape the building, they are confronted by Diablo again. Vlad defeats him using the vampire weapon called the Lucis that he found earlier in the book. They then drive home and Otis leaves for the summer. Vlad and Henry start the school. Vlad suspects Otis of killing his parents and teacher. Otis reveals himself to be Vlad's uncle. Diablo captures Nellie and takes her to the Stokerton Council building. Vlad, Otis, Nellie, and Henry escape the council building. I think a great theme of this book is that every story has a bit of truth to it. My research topic is on the existence of make-believe monsters. In the story, Otis gives his students an oral report project where they have to pick a monster from his hat and then tell the class what it would be like to be that monster. It is common knowledge that the werewolf is one of the most profound monsters in pop culture and our imaginations. However, every story holds a bit of truth. According to TheoryandTropes.com, clinical lycanthropy is the psychological belief that you are or have been a werewolf. In Europe, there were an estimated 30,000 reports of clinical lycanthropy between the years 1520 or 1630, according to typepad.com. Wikipedia says there are people in the world that live their life as if they were a real vampire as portrayed in pop culture. Dracula, the most famous vampire of all, was loosely based on an actual person named Vlad the Impaler Dracula. He was a war general in the 1400s that drank the blood of his enemies. That's my presentation.